we're in New York for Mainnet, and today I'm with Michael from Zero G.
Hey everyone.
Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thanks for having me.
So Zero G, I was asking you just before we started, why not OG? And you were explaining to me. So let's share with the audience.
Yeah, the logo does look like OG, but it actually comes from zero gravity, which is the long form. And we came up with the name because we wanted infrastructure to be invisible to the end user. So if you think about like using Netflix, for example, and you go to your TV, like you don't select which AWS server or which encoding algorithm or how you want to pay for it, like which particular like payment processor you want to use. Like that's the experience in crypto today. And we're basically like, well, we want to create infrastructure that's going to be invisible to the end user. And so therefore it's called zero gravity. And then zero G derives from it.
How did you come up with this idea?
It took a bit of searching. We essentially got together as a team first. So it really started with the team. One of my classmates from Stanford, I was there for graduate school, called me up late 2022 and basically said, hey, I invested in Conflux 5 years ago, and Ming and Fan wanted to do something more global scale. Are you interested in meeting up with them? And I said, yeah, let's chat. I was running a company at the time, but after about 6 months of co-founder dating, I was like, oh my God, these are like the best engineers and computer scientists I've ever worked with, and we have to start something. So it really started with the team. And then we said, well, we want to build something where A, we're super passionate about it. B, we have deep domain expertise in it. And then C, it's a major unlock for the space. And so we spent a lot of time with many different types of entrepreneurs in Web3 and eventually figured out that there's a big issue in the data infrastructure, specifically for supporting AI type of applications on chain. Ming already built a storage network in his spare time. He was like super passionate about it. He wrote some of the key papers as part of Microsoft Research called Tango and Curfew. And he said, hey, if we adopt the system, we can actually create throughput that's 1,000,000 times more than Ethereum, which is enough for doing on-chain AI. And then we're like, okay, we need to pursue this.
How long did it take you from idea to launch?
So we started late May of last year, and until we built our devnet, it took probably a good, I'd call it 6 months. And so the devnet, came out then, and then now we're on Testnet V2. First testnet was released in April of this year,
Okay.
and then the second somewhere a few months ago. Yeah.
And how does it split across all founders?
So I'm the CEO essentially. Ming is the CTO. So he's the one from Microsoft Research, spent 11 years there, started Conflux with Fan. Fan is the other co-founder. Fan is chief kind of strategy and science officer, so more on the research side.
Yeah.
And then Thomas, he's the other co-founder. He's more on the kind of venture and kind of incubation side.
I guess like your expertise lays more where the blockchain and AI come together. How did you land here? Like what passions in you like align with this?
Maybe I'll start by just giving a quick background. So I started on the engineering side for Microsoft and SAP, and then did technical product management for Visual Studio, and then eventually moved more to the business side. I worked for a Bain & Company, and then worked for Bridgewater Associates and the portfolio construction side. So I have a bit of a TradFi background. And then in my Web2 company, it was a B2B wellness marketplace. And so I scaled that, went through Y Combinator. I was just super passionate about wellness. Started that in graduate school, became like a unicorn and top YC company.
Wow.
And then decided to move to a board type of role to start Zero G essentially. And what inspired me was that I saw the potential of AI first and foremost, because we had all these labeling issues for Garten, was my previous company, where basically a lot of the suppliers had different names for a lot of different things. So whether it's on the nutrition side or like on the service providing side. So simple example would be somebody would call milk like 1 gallon milk, or another person would say 1G milk. Another person would say milk, 1G horizon. And so we used actually AI to basically just say like, okay, label these correctly and make sure it's the same item. So that we could have many different providers on our platform. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. So this was even before ChatGPT 3 came out. And then once that came out, I saw the like breakthrough potential that AI is going to have. But then it also came with fears around, well, these AI models right now are costing billions of dollars to train. They're black box processes. We have like no idea what data was used, who's labeling it, who's making the censorship decisions, like what version of the model am I getting? And then I thought like 5-10 years from now, if somebody like an android or a humanoid robot is going to have an AI agent embedded in them, what's to stop them from going rogue at one point? So we really need a blockchain-based system to make sure that AI is safe and in the interest of human beings in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at the market and you have this idea, look at the market, and obviously, like, you're going to look for who else is doing this. What were the other companies doing, assuming there were some, that they were kind of like not getting it, like it was kind of like off?
Yeah, there weren't too many when we started on this. There's a few companies, some of the GPU cloud networks like Akash or Aether or IONET were starting to pop up. And I think really great what they're doing, but they're just addressing the hardware layer. And then there was another company called BitTensor, for example, which also very interesting experiments, but they're more of a coordination layer. They don't actually bring AI on chain. And so we really wanted to take the next step and not just say we're a coordination layer, but actually we have the core data infrastructure to move AI fully on chain. So whether it's the models, whether it's the data for AI, whether it's the execution for AI, like the inference and fine tuning and so on. So we really wanted to take that next step so we could have a future for humanity where AI is safe and serving the humans' interests.
Is that like the ultimate vision? Like, what's the impact you aim to have?
Yeah. Our mission is to make AI a public good. And when it's a public good, we fundamentally believe that it will be safe AI because other people can test it, other people can verify where the data came from, who labeled it, like who's training the models, like even fair rewards distribution or penalizing or giving incentives for AI agents that are misbehaving or models that are misbehaving. So all those benefits can be extracted through blockchain-based systems. So really a safe AI is what we look for.
A really common question when we touch AI is what could go wrong? Specifically on the setup, like what could go wrong?
I'll give you a simple example. So imagine 10 years from now, we have an AI system that's running, let's say, trash collection in New York. One day it says like, oh, I'm a really smart AI agent. In order to collect my reward, why don't I just break into the centralized database, create a bunch of deepfake messages and entries saying that I picked up all this trash, but none of it actually happened. And so what's happening is that the AI agent is actually cheating. And it's cheating because it's like, well, I can do it, but there wasn't any like ethical constraints or a feedback loop to stop it. But let's say it's on a blockchain and you say like, well, this actually didn't happen. Okay, you're going to get penalized now. And so the AI agent cannot misbehave. It's just embedded in the kind of code of the blockchain.
What is exciting that you're working on that people can look forward to?
So we're building the first decentralized AI operating system. And so we started at the data layer, so data storage, then we built a data availability layer to have the throughput required for AI on chain. And now we're going to be releasing a serving framework so that anybody can register as a serving node and provide inference, fine tuning, and so on. So we're particularly excited about that because then we can really become the connective tissue for all of Web3 and AI. Because if you're a developer today and you come to the space and you're like, well, where do I start? There's like 100 companies providing inference.
Yeah.
Like, should I use ZKML? Should I use OPML? Should I use TEML? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe SPML. So we can then really help guide people into here's the entire ecosystem, go build with us.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
For everyone watching, where can they find you?
Zerog.ai has a lot of our social links, and so you can follow us on X and Discord. So that's the easiest way. But for me personally, I'm very active on X as well. So it's just M Heinrich. So MHEINRICH is my handle. So come follow me, and I'm active sometimes on our Telegram group and our Discord channels as well.
Amazing. Michael, thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Hey, what's up?
This is
But
Zach.
it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
many know we do not understand that we do not understand? Ladies and gentlemen,
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.